Sup, just got my name is John Tukul, like this is my YouTube channel. Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Animator Zone, where we take your favorite animators and give them questionable questions. On this episode, we have an OG creator. He is the ginger sweet tea of the community, DSW, or better known as Action Figure Corner. Say hi, DSW.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
Now let's get right into the interview. On YouTube, your name is Action Figure Corner, but on IG or Instagram, your name is DSW. Can you please explain?
Basically, it's Instagram. I started out as Disaster Side Wrestling because that was sort of what I was doing the channel on. And then it was kind of when I started doing the like eBay selling and stuff like that, I decided to change it a little bit so it was more a general sort of action figure thing than just animation channel basically. But I never changed the username, I suppose. So that's the whole reason behind that, I guess.
What's your thoughts on Mattel not making that much exclusive figures in the UK scene? Because you guys been getting like little to none figures, while America has been getting like a lot of exclusive figures, and it's hard for the UK people to get those exclusives. What's your thoughts on that whole process and everything?
Well, first of all, you know my sort of feelings on that. In that, I do appreciate on the one hand being from the UK. Because, of course, I know people like yourself where it's, like, very difficult to get figures at all. So, on the one hand, it's kind of a relief to have something. The main issue with it is the fact that it's so hard for us to order from Ringside and stuff like that in the UK because of, customs and shipping charges in general. Obviously, for some people, it's not really a problem, but, like, for people like myself, don't really want to spend way too much on one figure. So, it's very sort of specific cases where you can even go for like something off Ringside. But yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but in the UK we're in a better position than many places, I guess. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've heard stories of you fighting children for figures and stuff like that.
That's my figure. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Continue.
I do appreciate that. In the UK we are in quite a good position, and if I'm quite honest, there's never been an awful lot of like Ringside or Target exclusives that I've really been bothered about. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed in the Kama Mustafa that's coming out being a Target exclusive, but that's like the first one I'm really bothered about. I mean, in the past it's been like Billy Graham and a really awful looking Jim Neidhart, Peyton Royce, all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of like, yeah, but everybody might be going mad about this figure, but it's not great, is it? Like, I just don't care. But yeah, it's things like the Legends line and Decade of Domination and stuff like that sort of really irritate me, because it's just like, well, if you're releasing it as a series, why don't you just release it in other places? But yeah, like you say, I'm very grateful for what we do get in the UK.
WrestleFest, what's up with that? It's been over a year since you uploaded the first part, and it's still going. What's happening with that?
Yeah, it has been it's been a long process. I think it could, like, I'm on the last match now. I've got the sort of penultimate match just to edit. Mostly just need commentary, and I think a couple of segments on that, and then that'll be done. Then there's the last part, which I'm going to start filming when I get a decent camera, because the last couple of parts are just they're not completely ruined, but they definitely don't look great. And it's I don't know, my camera started doing some weird stuff, and it's hurting the videos now. And I thought, well, we've got this far anyway. It's taken us this long. I may as well take a little bit longer, get a decent camera, and finish it off then.
When you're filming and everything, do you ever get like unmotivated at some parts of your shows or pay-per-views?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's just that sort of motivation thing. I mean, I think the sad part is, I've been unemployed for like 2 years, so the sad part is I'm never gonna have more free time than I have had in those 2 years, and all I've really done is the Royal Rumble match, which in retrospect was a massive time sink and a massive regret. Most of WrestleFest as well in sort of 2 years, so that's not great, and it does make me feel a bit bad, because I do wish I had like a long running Fed and a long history of everything. But I think the issue with me is I have so many different interests and projects that only get so much attention at different times. So as much as that's not like the whole reason why, it's kind of like, I do spend a lot of time doing other things as well. And I also spend a lot of time just frustrated with everything and don't actually do anything. So yeah, it's been a long one with WrestleFest, but I think the main reason it's taken so long is because once I started it, when I started it, it had quite a small match card. I think it was going to be like 4 or 5 matches. And then quite early on, I sort of realized it was going to be this long process of me making it anyway. And I thought, you know what, screw it. I may as well just invest everything into it and, do a long show and everything that sort of like needs doing at some stage. We might as well cram it all in, and it's finished when it's finished, kind of thing. I think a big problem I have as well is sort of comparing myself to others. So like if I have a look at like one thing I really have to try and like not do is compare myself to like NLW, because like even his intro just sort of gets me excited where I'm like, man, I wish I had like just a bit where they're all holding like the heavyweight title and stuff. I'm like, man, I wish I had all this history in my Fed. I wish I could be bothered to do all this kind of stuff like all the time. But the fact of the matter is, I guess that's just not me. I've got other things going on. You do have animators where that's the main thing that they do, and that's fine. That's brilliant. But I guess I'm not that kind. I need to stop wishing I was, basically, and just go at my own pace. I've been thinking about doing a couple of pick fed things just to sort of have a bit of content in the sort of interim periods. But like, first of all, I've had a bit of creative frustration in working out what I want to do, and second of all, it's actually like I started doing like a pick fed match for like the after show for WrestleFest, which I started filming sort of in this period between now and when I get like a better camera, and I did this one pick fed match, and I was kind of like, this is still so much effort. I'd rather just do a proper animation, and I guess that's like the age old issue I've had. Like, I could have been pick fedding for years if that's what I wanted to do, but it's not.
Would you ever see yourself going into pig fed since that motion's such a hassle?
With pick fed as well, like the arena and I mean, this counts for animations as well, but the arena and the camera and like your picture quality and stuff matters so much. Um, and I do think that is something that holds me back about like stop motion. I mean, you've seen my arena; it's just a little cramped space, probably about a foot wide, maybe 2 feet wide at best, with a ring in it, and then another upturned ring to sort of replicate a stage kind of thing. And there's just not much I can do with it, and it's hard to get excited about it. It's just, it's a little space clustered away in the corner of my room, and I feel like, as much as I don't want to kind of make excuses, I feel like if I had a big open area where I could have like a proper stage and a proper ring and announcers and a crowd and all that kind of stuff, I feel like I'd be a lot more excited about recording stuff. But I mean, when I was younger, actually, to be fair, even when I was younger and I was just animating on the floor, the only time I really had the space was when it was downstairs in the living room. Like, even when I was animating, like, in the corner on my bedroom floor, I still didn't have all that room. And if you go back and watch my New Year's Resurrection pay-per-view, you'll see that, like, I literally had to, like, wall it off with a big wall of tapes. And you can see, like, all the junk under my bed. And I had, like, two really small areas where I could sort of squeeze myself in. I mean, it was remarkable I managed to film it all, to be honest. And I don't think I had a tripod at the time either, so I was like literally like stacking the camera on top of like a stack of tapes, and you know you can just see the tapes leaning in at times. Like there was no room back then when I was like animating on the floor either. You know, I've got a really small room and a lot of stuff. I think that in general holds me back with projects sometimes, because I mean it's hard to sort of get your head in gear when everything is just such a mess. And you know, I'm a weird kind of person where I do like to keep things messy for a while, and then it has to be tidied. And it's not that like my room is inherently a mess, but like there's just so much stuff in it. It's like really clustered, you know. I am hoping to move out, like, but so far we're not off to a great start with that. But you know, we'll see what happens there.
You're kind of an OG stop motion creator because you've been animating longer than me, GSD, or PTW. What have you seen change throughout the years?
Well, in general, an interesting change that happened, that you definitely noticed sort of when NLW started becoming a thing, is it started becoming a lot less about the animation quality and a lot more about the story of the quality of the story rather. And on that, I feel like, you know, a lot of the things I think NLW had right was like the arena, the sort of the figures he used were really cool, like all the broken down old figures, and it was kind of cool to just see a guy making use out of all this stuff. It was different, you know. And I guess that was like a big difference that happened, was like, you know, it stopped being about good animation quality and started being about being different. And you know, that was really cool, because even when I was first starting watching figure channels, I always gravitated towards ones that were a bit different. You know, it was kind of like, I remember there's a channel out there now, he's still doing stuff now and then at the moment. It's called Wild Zone Wrestling. Back in the day, it was called Action Figure Wrestling. And this guy used like WCW figures, Titantron Live figures, and TNA figures, like Toy Biz TNA. And that was like it. And that was so different. And he was just, I mean, the stories he came out with were just nuts. Like he had like a thing, like Earl Hebner, like the referee was like a wrestler. And he was coming like he was doing his entrance in one match, falls off a ledge, breaks his arm, and then wins the match by punching the guy in the face with a cast on his arm. And it's just like, what brain did this come out of, you know? And it's really sad that he doesn't have any of his old stuff anymore, because like I said, it was just so unique. You know, he had like custom figures and characters and stuff, and just used all these old looking figures and stuff. It was really cool.
You posted a video called Ellis Laser Beam 10 minutes. I hope I didn't butcher that name. What was that video all about?
It's a clip from a Left 4 Dead parody called Left 4 Speed. It's something that became a running joke between me and my friends. And I guess one day I decided to make a 10-minute video of it. And on that day, I just happened to be signed into the Action Figure Corner channel. It would have fitted something else better, but like I said before, it's got like 1,000 views now, so I ain't taking it down. You know.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all the time we have today. Thank you, DSW, or Action Figure Corner, for joining us today. And is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
I am incredibly sorry for how much I talk. Yeah, I came to this kind of thinking, right, don't waffle on too much, but then, I mean, you just don't think about it once you go in, and honestly, I mean, once you get me talking, I just love telling stories. But yeah, thanks for doing this, man. I do appreciate it.
No problem, dude. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being a part of the Animator Zone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Good night, goodbye, and hey, maybe next time your favorite animators will be here. Bang.